Morning, everybody, and thank you for all coming along. It's a very strange day today. Last time I walked out about half an hour ago, it's snowing, so I haven't got a clue which way's up at the moment. So I'll try and make some sense of nonsense. It's a great privilege to actually have the opportunity to be part of it, investors in the community, but I'm not going to talk about that now. What I want to highlight, something which is an ongoing battle, and that is trying to actually give an industry like mine to try and change some of its ways. There's a technical term they use from time to time, which is, lying, which still seems really quite common. And it astounds me that even high-profile businesses manage to get away with the most appalling comments and statements. And they've forgotten the key element when it comes to finance. And that is, it is a privilege to look after people's money, not a right. And when you hear people saying, I've got 15 billion pounds, you haven't got any at all. That's your clients have got that money. And they've actually given you a huge responsibility, and you should be treasuring it, to actually take that money and be able to do something with it which would be a benefit to them, and not just losing the sodding stuff. And I really find that frustrating. It's not just the industry, it's also the fact that, of course, we don't educate people about finance. Oh, you'll be told about venture capital if you haven't spoken to a venture capitalist or private equity. One of them, you'll find out little bits. But that's irrelevant. We need to be told actually how do we run our family finances from when we're born, early if you can manage it, right the way through. And not just for us as individuals, but for our rather strange family that we all belong to, dysfunctional British family, which does consist of pretty strange affairs. I'm sure you belong to a properly functioning family. Mine's ludicrously complicated. My mother went through 3 husbands, one of whom purported to be my father, but the detail was hazy. But you actually look at most families now, it's not just grandparents. Good Gavin, there's so many of those around. You can't get a seat on a train anymore. People with grey hair cluttering up the place in our time, including me, actually. But the point is this, it's not just you and your partner, or your ex-partner, and the various children you've got with those, maybe. It's not just the pair of you, it's then also your parents or grandparents. Good news, they're living long. That's nice. Bad news, they're living a bit too long. A single flight to Zurich sorts some of it out, but that may not go down terribly well. Then we've got great-grandparents. And where are they? They're probably at home somewhere. They haven't got a clue where they are. They think they're still on a liner somewhere. But by the way, they're part of your family. Now, this isn't trying to get people to be nice to their family, because lots of parts of our family aren't always very nice. It is actually making sure we can organise ourselves for the protection of that family, for the benefit of the greater family. Why? Because nobody else is going to. You know what the government's going to do? Shoving it all back to us to try and sort out as individuals. Go off and look after your pension. How? What's a pension? How does it work? Most I find it trouble sometimes when you look at the industry. Some of the firms have trouble spelling ISA, let alone you understand what it means, what they should be doing with it. Or here's a lovely scheme, you have a junior ISA, you can save your money until you're 18. That's great, and what are you going to do with it at 18? That's called the student bar. There's a logic break here. And this is not just a nice to have, it is essential that we all need to be doing it because what's happening with families changing. Now, we are the baby boomer group. Our baby boomers are much later than the Americans. The Americans came back and they had their baby boom after the war. We had to wait over a decade before we had ours. So it actually took quite a while. And so that is now the key element now coming through of this boom of money and people all having to change what's going on. And here's the opportunity for them to try and do the right thing for their children, because they won't get the property boom that we had. They won't get all those sort of things. And inheritance money, well, the longer that we live, the less they get. So be careful when you're tasting your food sometimes. So all those elements means that this is changing. So as part of this, we can actually try and do things which are better. And I'm amazed, actually, when you think about it as a nation, how generous we actually are. You look at the television financial marathons that go on, Pudsey the Bear and all of that, and there are record sums coming in. It's great. Well done. And the number of people, I'm sure, in your office and things who do stupid things like running a marathon. There's got to be better things to do with your life. And money they'll give to good causes. Excellent. But you don't get any longer-term respect or recognition for doing that. Normally it's, oh God, just give them a check, sort it out. Actually, we should be respecting people doing this and encouraging them to do more, and actually make sure there's a value to it. So on their CVs, they can actually measure what they have been doing. But not just as individuals, but but as groups of individuals as well. I'm always amazed at the number of people who get together a weekend to go off to go and paint the school. The school didn't want it, but they got painted anyway, but that's not the point. Or going off and doing things together, or as a company. And we were mentioning just now about greenwash and things like that. The whole attitude of social responsibility from corporates will get an awful lot of that similar sort of greenwash as they make an effort to how much they've given to various charities, and lots of pictures in the report and accounts of people without a suit on sitting there trying to look after some children or something like that. It's an apology. Why not actually have a mechanism whereby people can actually not just donate, but participate and have a measurement for it, which measured for the individual, but also then measured for the company, so they can actually prove that they are doing something in society. Something which is a little bit more than just some apology money of sending some money off to a well-deserving cause. This technology will allow us to start to do that, and heaven forfend, turn into something which is, a word you're probably not allowed to use, which could be fun, could be interesting. And that's, I think, one of the issues we've got to try and do, to actually make it engaging for people so they understand what they're doing, the impact that their efforts are making, and be able to give them longer-term recognition for it. And I want companies to be shown up to say, actually, they are doing the right thing and those that aren't. No, it's all too easy to actually sit there and look at how much they've been given. How have they behaved? Have they changed their attitude? Now, we've been through it in terms of the issues of gender, and on boards and things like that, and participation. We've been through it in terms of some of the environmental issues, but frankly we're playing at most of it. So put this against then the opportunity of actually getting people to be able to carry out that work, be able to get some measurement and recognition for it, so when they go on to their next job, the person can actually say, look, this is what you've been doing, this is what I've actually been contributing to, and I can help your business by participating in this too. And separate out those companies that are actually doing great things, positive things, and also embarrass those that aren't. And adopting that old financial services technical term again, of lying. I've gone on too long. She'll tell me to shut up very quickly indeed. May I wish you all success with today of actually garnering all these bits of information and actually get some practical benefit out of it that we can use for the benefit of all those people that need it. But to me, what's really important is all those people who make the effort to go and do those things that lazy sods like me don't. Thank you.